7. Our topic is all about the international logistics. So what is international logistics? International logistics is the study of planning and implementation of how a business moves physical good and material from supplier to customer in a way that involve crossing at least one international border. It is also include the international movement of money and information. So when we say international logistics, it's all about to how a move a physical good from supplier to customer in the international border. So sa madaling salita, ito ay bahagi ng proseso ng produkto at serbisyo na nagmula sa isang bansa patungo doon sa ibang bansa. So naglalaman ng international logistic tulad ng pag-deliver, pagdala o pagtransporta ng mga custom procedure. Kumbaga, ito yung mga product na inaangkat natin mula sa ibang bansa. So, ang layunin ng international logistic is upang mas mapadali, mabilis ang pag-unlad ng mga kalakal at serbisyo na nagmula sa iba't ibang bahagi ng mundo. So, halimbawa nito is yung pag-angkat natin ng bigas sa ibang bansa. So, alam naman natin sa Pilipinas ay kulang tayo sa supply ng bigas, kaya tayo ay nag-aangkat ng bigas sa ibang bansa. At saka ang isa pang halimbawa nito is yung wheeler o yung tinatawag natin ng mga sasakyan. So alam naman natin na tayo ay umaangkat din ng mga sasakyan sa ibang bansa. Na makikita natin dito sa Pilipinas yung mga sasakyan na magaganda na like yung XUV na inaangkat natin doon sa ibang bansa. International logistics involve moving physical good, money, and information across international border. Good partner and a technology provider are essential to early success in international logistics. Like what I said kanina, sa international logistics is ito na nga yung sinabi ko, yung pag-angkat natin na hindi lang physical good or product yung inaangkat natin, kundi kasama na din dito yung pera. So, halimbawa nito is yung sa pera. Kapag tayo ay nakikipagpalit ng pera sa ibang bansa, syempre ito ay may mataas na currency or yung value yung pera nila. Then kapag naman tayo alis sa ibang bansa, o pupunta tayo sa ibang bansa, syempre kailangan natin makipagpalit ng pera. So, hindi natin pwedeng gamitin yung pera ng Pilipinas na ipabili doon ng product sa ibang bansa. Syempre, hindi nila tatanggapin yun. So, kailangan natin makipagpalit ng pera din. The next is important of logistics in the global trade. So, it is international logistics have taken on the new importance in the modern era. As economics grows, they naturally allow for increased specialization. In the other word, individual and business can focus on doing fewer things but doing them better. A small town might have a bakery while a city often has a specialty shop for cupcake, donut, and spice along with the broader bakeries such as specialization, sports, competition, and creativity as well. So, dito sa importance of logistics in the global trade, syempre, mahalaga ito para sa atin. Mahalaga ang logistics sa global trade dahil dito, mas napapabilis ang transaction ng logistics sa pamagitan ng palitan nito mula sa ibang bansa. Ito kasi ay nakakatulong sa pag-ayos ng mga proseso sa isang supply chain, tulad ng pagbawas ng gastusin. So, ano ba ang global trade? So, yung global trade naman ang siyang tumutukoy sa palitan ng kalakal o service sa ibang bansa. Ito rin kasi ang siyang nagbibigay daan sa bansa na makipag-ugnayan. So, sa pamamagitan kasi ng pakipag-ugnayan natin mula sa ibang bansa, sa isang bansa, ay mas napapaunlad ang ekonomiya nito natin sa isang bansa. So, sa pamamagitan kasi ng global trade is tayo ay sumusunod din sa mga trade na napapanahon ngayon. Now, let's proceed to the main goal of international logistics. The main goal of international logistics are by and large like any business logistic process to ensure efficient and reliable operation that run smoothly and predictable while driving down costs and reducing uncertainty. So, dito sa main goal international logistics is mababanggit ko dito yung about yung reliability at relationship na kung saan ito ay matatapik din ang kasunod na aking kagrupo. So, ang main goal ng international logistics ay upang mas mapabuti at mas mapabilis ang paglipat ng mga product at service mula sa isang bansa patungo sa ibang bansa. So, dito kasi sa main goal kasi is kailangan hindi kasi dito mawawala yung isang relationship ng isang bansa. Siyempre, kailangan kasi natin yung relationship ng isang bansa upang mas matugunan tayo yung mga pangangailangan natin. Then, kailangan din kasi yung pahintulot ng ibang bansa upang mapagbigyan tayo doon sa pag-aangkat natin doon sa isang product na gusto natin angkatin patungo dito sa atin. Kunwari, dito sa Pilipinas na kailangan natin mag-angkat, syempre kailangan natin makipag-ugnayan sa mga namumuno doon. So, kailangan natin ng pahintulot nila or permission nila na mapagbigyan o mabigyan tayo nung gusto natin.
Main goals of international logistics. First is cost efficiency. Cost efficiency in international logistics is a key objective aimed at reducing the overall expenses businesses operating across borders. This involves complying with diverse country laws, managing tariffs and taxes effectively, optimizing shipping logistics for cost effectiveness, efficiently utilizing the entire supply chain, and integrating technology to streamline operations. The goal is to maintain high quality service and product delivery while minimizing operation costs, ensuring a successful and economical efficient international business operations. And second is reliability. Reliability in international logistics is the assurance of maintaining a consistent and dependable flow of products and services despite potential challenges. This involves complying with diverse rules and regulations in the different countries, effective coordination throughout the entire supply chain, proactive the identification and assessment of risk, leveraging the technology for monitoring and traceable, and ensuring smooth coordination in transportation and custom processes. The ultimate goal is to ensure the swift, consistent, and efficient movement of goods and services across the global. Relationship, number 4 is the international logistic management. The components of international logistic management encompasses overseeing daily operations, guiding the entire supply chain, coordinating people, objects, data, and financial resources, ensuring compliance with law and regulations, and utilizing logistic technologies. These elements of collective contribute to effective management of international logistics, enhancing efficiency and maintaining the legal compliance. Now, let's move on to the components of international logistic management. Number 1 is the demand planning. Number 2 is manufacturing. Number 3 is packaging stocking. Number 4 is shipping and distribution. And number 5 is warehousing and security for the resources. In summary, the logistic processes encompass the planning for the demand, adapting manufacturing to the changes needs, optimizing packaging for efficient storage and transportation, facilitating the physical movement of goods through shipping, distribution, and securing resources in the warehouse until they demanded by the consumers. Each phase plays a vital role in ensuring a smooth and effective flow of the products through the supply chain. Now let's move on to the transportation infrastructure. In international logistics, transportation infrastructure is a fundamental component that shape the efficient and reliability of supply chains. Well-developed networks including airports, seaports, road, and railways facilitate global connectivity and the seamless movement of goods between countries. Robust infrastructure supports intermodal transportation, efficient border crossing, and the optimization of the last mile delivery process. Integration of technology such as intelligent transportation system, enhancing logistic operation, while reliable energy and fuel infrastructure sustain the movement of vehicles critically to international trade. In overall, a well-designed and interconnected transportation system is essential for the success of international logistics, influencing the speed and effectiveness of global supply chains.
Ito po yung report ko sa international packaging issues. Packaging is instrumental in getting the merchandise to the destination in the safe, presentable conditions. Is yung malaki nga pong tulong nung pagkaka-packaging is, ang halimbawa nga po nito is yung sa Shopee po. Tapos, di ba kapag dumadating po yung parcel natin is, which is may maayos pong pagkaka-packaging po yung isang item. So, minsan nga po kapag babasagin nga po yung in-order natin, may nakalagay nga po na fragile po para alam po nung nag-deliver sa atin na babasagin nga po yung babasagin nga po ito. Kaya po nararapat po itong ingatan. So, because of the added stress of international shipping, packaging that is the adequate from the domestic shipping by the inadequate for international shipping. Packaging considerations that should be taken into the account by environmental conditions and weight. So, dito naman nga po is yung and para po maging safe din po yung parcel or yung item na papunta po sa atin. So, madalas nga po may mga item na may mga sira, 'di ba po seller is minsan nga po is wala pong alam dito. Minsan is nangyayari po ito sa mga nagdi-deliver. Doon po baga sa mga nagdi-deliver. Kahit po na minsan is may packaging na may tendency pa rin po masira yung isang item o yung parcel natin, na ganun is hindi po nagiging sapat po yung pagkakapapackaging po dito. Next naman po yung international inventory issues. Inventories of major portions of corporate functions, therefore proper inventory policies should be a major concern to the international logistician. Just in a time, inventory policies minimize the value of inventory by the making it available only when needed to a purpose of establish inventory system are. So, dito naman po is yung international inventories. Ito po yung pound o company. Pound po ng isang company na kung saan andito po yung from raw o materials to finished a product. To show a product. So, ito po yung nagiging concern ng mga international logistician. So, to maintain product movements in the delivery pipeline, to have a cautions to absorb demand fluctuation. So, ito po yung para naman po ma-maintain natin yung product sa pag-deliver. Sa pag-deliver is kailangan po nating ma-absorb po yung fluctuation or ito yung pagbaba po ng isang amount.
Aljaman Dasilio, and this is my topic about logistics. Storage facilities. A stationary period is involved when merchandise becomes inventory stored in warehouse. Dito po sa storage facilities, ini-imbak yung mga bawat produkto na nanggaling sa iba't bansa. Halimbawa po, in-export ng ibang bansa, dito po ini-imbak yun. The location decision addresses how many distribution centers to have and where to locate them. Dito naman po sa location decision addresses, dito po tinutukoy yung kung ilan yung distribution center na i-distribute yung product at paano i-locate doon sa centers, sa location na yun. Storage facilities abroad can differ in availability and quality. Storage facility po sa abroad ay may iba't ibang pamaraan and quality ng kanilang pag-process sa mga storage facilities. And next po is special trade zones. Foreign trade zones are areas when foreign goods may be held and processed and then re-export without incurring duties. Ang foreign trade zone daw po ay dito nagtatagoy yung mga o nagpa-process ang mga dayuhang kalakal at pagkatapos ay muling i-export nang hindi kinakailangan magbayaran yung mga buwis. Kumbaga po, ginagamit nila ito para iwas sa pagbubuwis. Trade zone can useful and transshipment points to reduce logistic costs and redesign marketing approaches. Sabi ko nga po kanina, para mabawasan yung gastusin, dito po, napaka useful po ng transshipment points. Dito po nababawasan yung logistic cost and nagkakaroon pa ng panibagong marketing. Governments and firm benefits from foreign trade zones. Ang governments daw po ay nakikinabang sa mga foreign trade zones. Next po is export processing zones and economic zones. In export processing zone, special rules apply that are different in other regions of country. These zones usually provide tax-free and duty-free treatment for production facilities whose output is destined abroad. Sinasabi dito po sa export processing zone ay isang special na patakaran ng ibang bansa. Karaniwan nagbibigay ang mga zone na ito na tax-free at duty-free na pabor para sa mga pasilidad na produksyon na ang produkto ay nakalampar sa ibang bansa. Through the creation of special economic zones, the Chinese government has attracted many foreign investors bringing in millions of dollars. Nung creation po ng special economic zones, ang Chinese government ang pinakamarami na attract pagdating sa foreign investors. Dahil po dito na bringing in millions of dollars. Layunin din po ng export processing ay mapabilis yung pagproseso ng pag-export sa ibang bansa. Ito din po isang estratehiya ng mga bansa para mapalakas yung kanilang ekonomiya o matagdagan yung kanilang pandaigdigang kalakal.
Outsourcing logistics services. The systematic outsourcing of logistic capabilities is a third option. By collaborating with transportation firms, private warehouse, or other specialists, corporate resources can be concentrated on firms' core product. So, outsourcing logistics services is refers to the practice of hiring external companies or specialists to handle various aspects of company supply chain and distribution process. This can include transportation, warehousing, inventory management, and other logistic-related activities. So, by outsourcing this function, a company can focus its internal resources and efforts on its core product or services. Sa magitan ng ganitong paraan, mga business allows to streamline or nagiging mas mabilis at maayos ang operation ng negosyo sa pamamagitan ng pakipagtulungan sa mga specialized entities such as transportation firms or private warehouses. So, the second is logistics and security. So, logistics system and modern transportation system are open to target of attacks. The need to institute new safeguards for international shipments will affect the ability of firms to efficiently plan their international shipment. So, by logistics and security, nagkakaroon dito ng challenge in ensuring the secure movement of goods internationally. As the system, nagkakaroon ito ng effects sa global trade tulad ng disruption caused by potential threats such as cyber attacks or physical interference can hinder the efficient planning and execution of international shipments. Pamangailangan ng pagkakaroon ng vital network is not only address security concern, kundi to introduce additional complexities para sa mga company na naglalayon or na mapanatili o ma-maintain ang efficiency of their international supply chains. So the third is logistic and environment. Since environmental laws and regulation differ across the globe, the firm's efforts need to be responsive to wide variety of requirements. Reverse distribution system is instrumental in ensuring that the firms not only delivers product to the market but also can retrieve it from the market for subsequent use, recycling, or disposal. So, meaning ng logistic and environment. So, navigating the intersection of logistic and environment requirements firms na to adopt environmental laws and regulation worldwide. Kakaiba ng regulation na to ay nangangailangan ng responsive approach from companies upang masiguro ang pagsunod sa mga compliance requirements. Isa sa mga mahalagang sustainable logistic ay ang pagpapatupad ng reverse distribution. Hindi lamang sa pag-deliver ng products sa mga market, kundi sa mabilisang pagkuha ng mga products for subsequent reuse, recycling, and proper disposal. Sa pagkakaroon ng reverse distribution strategies, ang companies ay nag-contribute ng environmental stewardship, aligning their logistical process with principles of circular economy and responsible resource management. So, punta naman tayo sa exporting requirements. So, we have 4 entities such as shipping a product overseas, packing, labeling, documentation, and insurance requirements. So, exporting requirements is referred to the specific regulation and procedures that need to be followed when shipping product to another countries. So, let's break down these key components. Number 1 is packing. Proper packing is essential to protect the product during transportation. It involves using appropriate materials and techniques to secure the goods and prevent damage. Second is labeling. Accurate labeling is crucial for customer clearance and efficient handling of product. It includes providing information such as product name, quantity, weight, country of origin, and any necessary warnings or certification. The number 4 is documentation. Various document is required exporting products such as commercial invoices, packing lists, bills of lading, and export licenses. This document provide important information for custom, transportation companies, and other stakeholders involved in the export process. The number 4 insurance requirements. Exporters often opt cargo insurance to protect their goods against loss or damage during transportation. Insurance coverage can provide financial compensation in case of any unforeseen event. So by these requirements may vary depending on the destination country, the nature of the product, and specific regulation or agreements in place. It is essential to research and comply with the specific exporting requirements for each shipment. And thank you.